Hello, everybody! Sorry that it's been an extra week. We had a wonderful trip to go on to last weekend, so didn't really have time to do a vlog, but I'm here now. Woo-hoo-hoo! Okay, so like I said, last weekend on Thursday, we woke up early. Well, I guess I should start by saying that school is going great. We are in week 4 of 12, with 2 of them being reading weeks. So that means that we are a third of the way done with our last semester of grad school. Whew, finally. Just kidding. Which means all we have left is, after the semester, is writing our thesis, and then we get to come home. So it's going well so far. Robert got an A on a paper he got back, so we're very excited. It's currently, taped to our fridge, because it's not magnetic, so it's taped to our fridge, so yay! But yeah, we're just rocking and rolling. Now to my story. Last week, we went to Budapest. We woke up at the crack of dawn, took a bus all the way from Glasgow to Edinburgh, all the way. It was an hour. And we got to Edinburgh Airport, and our bus was like 10 minutes late, but that was fine. Robert couldn't check in online for whatever reason. It just closed early. So we ran to this place. It was one of those cheap airlines, and we ran to it, and the people at the front desk said, sorry, we can't do anything. You have to do it online. And Robert said, look, I tried to call customer service. I did everything it said to do. I don't understand. They said, oh, well, it closes 3 hours before your flight. Robert said, well, it doesn't tell me that anywhere. Online, on my email. And they said, well, you can go to our customer service desk. And at this point, we're still 50 minutes before our flight's supposed to take off. So we have, in theory, 20 minutes before they close the gate. So we run down to customer service, and she just says, no, there's nothing we can do. Robert says, well, can you call someone and put us on another flight, or what do we do here? And they said, no. So then we run back down to the other people. The long short of it is we ended up having to get a new flight. Spent pretty much all Thursday going from Edinburgh, and then we took a flight to London Gatwick, and then from London Gatwick all the way to Budapest, and then had to take a car from Budapest Airport all the way to where we were staying. It was just a whole long day of travel. But that's fine. We got there, went to bed. We were so tired. Actually, we were very excited. Our hotel room, it was a hotel, not an Airbnb or VRBO. Hotel room had a loft. How cool is that? And a bathtub. So I was thrilled. I've been missing my bathtub. I took 6 baths over Christmas break because I miss my bathtub so much. So it was a cool stairway up to the bed. It was really cool. And it was near the Budapest Castle and all the famous, it was in the Castle District. So we went up to bed, and the next morning we woke up. It was Friday. We went and got breakfast, and we just started the day off, at 11. And let's see, what did we do? We went all the way to Heroes Square maybe, and it was all these different Hungarian, I almost said Budapestian, Hungarian kings in this big archway, and there's pictures to show you, obviously. It's what Robert really wanted to see. And then we went and saw this castle that part of it was built medieval, part of it was built Renaissance, part of it was redone in the 19th century, all these different time periods combined together, and then it got bombed 3 different times in all the world wars, so then they rebuilt it, and it was really cool. You could definitely see the different layers of time and that kind of thing. We went up, the Hungarian currency is 300 HUF is €1. So you feel like you're spending $1 billion, but you're really only spending 7. So we went up. That is all to say is we were freaking out because it was 800 HUF to go up into this tower, and we were like, oh my gosh. And then she was like, that's only 2 something, and we were like, oh, that's not that bad. So we went up into this cool tower. Went to the gatehouse, and that was cool, but then we went to this tower with this man. You had to go through their agriculture museum to get to the top of this lookout tower, and we went with this tour guide, and he took 4 of us up there, and then he just started talking to the walls or to the corners, and no one was near him, and he was answering questions that no one was asking. So Robert and I, when he turned around to talk to the next corner, we just kind of snuck away because it was very eerie, are you going to try to kill us up here? So we ran away. And then we went to the art museum because I was determined to see Titian, my favorite Renaissance artist. He's a late Italian Renaissance artist. And so we wandered all through the halls. We looked at every Renaissance painting, everything Gothic, all this Baroque stuff. And I couldn't find one. I was so distraught. We went into like these really cool chambers. There was a whole Rubens and Van Dyck section, which was gorgeous. Everything was, just stunning. And the museum itself was huge. You got lost. They had a massive collection of Renaissance art. From all over the place. It was wild. So we saw a bunch of that. And then we saw a bunch of ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Egypt stuff. They had a mummy who was there for she was old. She was a BC situation. And she was like 21. She was like a priestess. It was really cool, the information they had. And we spent a lot of time. We spent like 4 hours in the museum. And right as we were leaving, I went and I checked the gift shop because most of the time there'll be like postcards of some of the famous art. So I'm looking. I'm like, oh, I saw that art, not Titian. I saw that, not Titian. I saw that, not Titian. And then I saw one. I was like, oh, I saw that. And then it said Titian on the bottom. And I was so mad because it was one of his earlier works, so I hadn't recognized it, and I was furious. Because I was so mad when we were leaving that, there wasn't a Titian. Are you crazy? He's so famous. There was a Raphael, there was Michelangelo, there was a Da Vinci. What? There was a Bernini? Come on. No Titian? And then there was, and I'd walked right past it, so goof. But the food there was good. The food in the art museum was really yummy. I had a cake for lunch. And then, I can't remember what we did at night. We went to a fancy dinner. We roamed around and went to a fancy dinner. It was yummy. I can't remember what I got, though. Oh, I got some chicken something. Paprika. They love paprika. It doesn't do much. There's no flavor. And every time I think of paprika, I think of Salt and Pepper, Mrs. Salt, Mr. Pepper from Blue's Clues, and their daughter, Paprika, which was silly to me. And then we got some delicious cake, per usual. But then Saturday, this was Robert's day. Saturday, we woke up and went and rented bicycles. And we rode our bike 11, 12, 13 miles, a long way down. It was 14 miles if you went straight. We did not go straight. And at one point, we're on the side of a highway. He started off saying, don't worry, Ellie B. The path is very clearly marked. I read vlogs. I'm like, okay. Or blogs, not vlogs. I was okay. So I'm following him on my bicycle, which is worse than riding a horse. my butt bone was just wrecked. I'm riding this bike, trying not to die on the highway. And then all of a sudden, it just stops. We're not even on really a trail. I don't think we were supposed to be right there. So then we have to go and kind of scoot down a hill. At one point, Robert throws my bike downhill because it lost control. It's a very hilly place. So we finally get back on the road, and you're supposed to be following the number 6. So on all these street signs, every however many miles, it'll just say 6 in a European Union flag. It'll just be in the middle. So Robert said, we're just following the 6. And we would be on the side of a highway, and all of a sudden, bam, there's the number 6. And he's like, see, I knew we were going the right way. I'm like, oh, God. Okay, so I'm following him. It was awful. It wasn't awful. It was just entertaining, I guess. It's a good story. And then we ended up in a swamp. It was a woodland trail. It merged into the woods. So we ended up in a swamp. And our bikes weren't made for a swamp. So the tires stopped rotating, so we had to walk the bikes another mile. And then the swamp popped out at just dirt, a muddy dirt road, a fork. So we were like, what? Where do we go? So we asked this man walking his dog, and we said, oh, we're trying to go to Santander, on the bike trail. And he said, oh, you need to go left. So we were like, got it. He said, but go down here. He was in a ditch. He said, come down in the ditch. It's easier than riding in the dirt. And we were like, oh, thank you so much. So that's when Robert threw my bike into the dirt, into the ditch. And so we walked our bikes because it was still too dirty. We got all the way up, and then by the time we ended at the end of the ditch, there's a horse. But there was also a compound to the right, and then just a gravel road to the left. And we were like, what? Where do we go? So Robert was like, okay, I'll get my map out. And he looked at his map, and his map said that the city was over towards the right. So we were like, oh, we must go through the compound. And we go through this chain link fence, this gate, and there's like all these abandoned buildings, like felt very like Soviet, like, and there was all these like you had to like type in to get in the gate, and so we turned around and it was scary. So we just turned around, came back, asked a man, really startled a man on his bicycle, and he said we were supposed to go the other way, and so we begrudgingly went back down in the ditch, came all the way back up the hill, and then turned right and kept going, and then we saw this man in front of us. Like, there's construction everywhere, and there's no signs. We saw this man in front of us go down this, like, really dirty hill, and then cross this, like, tiny wooden bridge, and, like, back up a hill and throw his bike over a fence, and then, like, go on a trail. So we're like, aha, he knows what he's doing. He looks Hungarian. So we did the same thing, except for instead of going down where he went down, we went down on the flatter part, which is where all the trucks for the construction go, which means that our bikes that already weigh, like, 100 pounds, weighed, like, 200 pounds. Because of all the dirt and the mud and the wheel well. So we're like dragging our bikes. It's so muddy. I'm like losing my shoes in the pluff mud. Like, it's just ridiculous. And by the time Robert gets almost to the bridge, which he can't even reach because there's a huge pile of construction in the way, this Hungarian man across the river is screaming at us in Hungarian, which I do not speak, telling us we can't go that way basically, and pointing up to another road. Like we have to go back up the hill and then down the dirt road. So we, like, drag our bikes out there, and we're, like, struggling. We get sticks to get all the mud out, and then we find this lovely English couple. And they're like, where are you trying to go? We're like, Santander, and like, us too, just go this way. You'll see the sign. Like, the damn number 6, like, it's gonna be right there. Like, so we get on this trail, and what do we know? There's 6. And I'm thinking at this point, like, we've got to be, like, a mile away. Like, we've gone a long time. I'm in pain. It's been hours. And we were halfway. So we had so much more to go. It was just crazy. It was wild. And I had decided at that point we were not riding the bikes back. It was just not happening. So, yeah. But Santander was a really cute city. They had a couple churches that were really beautiful. There's a really old one on the hill. We went shopping. We got a bunch of, like, little dachshund, like, what do they call it? Like ceramic little dachshunds. They loved dachshunds in Hungary. There were dachshunds everywhere. And I was so enthralled with all the dachshunds. I barely did any look there's dogs because I was so excited. But yeah, we got a bunch of little dachshunds and little trinkets, and I ate a delicious waffle. Oh, we ate at a Greek restaurant because I was so hungry. And I ordered baby octopus in garlic sauce thinking it was just going to be calamari with a garlic dip. And it wasn't. It was a baby octopus. It was like 12. Legitimately like this big octopi looking at me with all their little tentacles, like it was awful. I ate one, thought I was gonna die, and then cut them up and hid them around my plate and like put some in the bread basket. It was terrible. So that's why I got to eat a waffle. And then Robert got ice cream. And then I got one of these weird cone things. They're like it's like they took dough and wrapped it around a cone and then put it in like a heater oven thing, like a rotisserie chicken, and then they like roll it in butter and then they roll it in cinnamon sugar, and it's delicious. It has like a weird lemony taste. It's great. I had 2 of them. 3 of them. 2 of them. 2 of them. So good. And then we got on the bus, or the train. We biked to the train station, got on the train. Another man got on after us and said, did you buy a ticket for your bike? And we said no, because why would you buy a ticket for your bike? And it turns out you do have to buy a ticket for your bike. So this train conductor, like, gets on at, like, the 3rd stop. We have, like, an hour train ride, and he gets on at the 3rd stop. And he's like, tickets. So we hand him our tickets, and they start speaking in Hungarian and pointing to our bikes. And we're like, English? Nothing. So luckily, Mr. Hungarian man with his bike started talking to him and was, like, explaining to him, I'm guessing, that we didn't have tickets for our bikes, because why would we? We have no idea. There's no rule that says that anywhere. And after, like, 3 stops of them arguing and us just sitting there blindly, the Hungarian, like, train conductor just turned to us and he said, get off train. And we were like, okay, we'll get off the train. So we, like, threw our bikes off the train and, like, dove out of the train, got tickets for our bikes, and got back on the train the next time. It was very silly. And then we returned the bikes because our butts hurt. And then we went to the baths. Ooh. It's like this big thermal pool. It's probably like some people's worst nightmare because there's so many people there. But like it's like all these baths inside and like tiles, and steam rooms and saunas and cold pools and warm pools and like bubbling pools, and then you go outside and it's freezing but the water is so warm, it's like a neck deep hot tub, and there's fountains and lap pools and a really fast moving lazy river. It's really small, but the whole complex is huge and hundreds of years old, and it was really fun, and we stayed for like an hour before we got kind of grossed out. It was nice though, but it was gross. But it was a lot of fun just to like see the people. We saw a guy hitting on a girl. It was awkward. She just pretended not to speak English. She was like, "Oh, sorry, I don't speak English." I'm like, "Oh, but you do. Your English is so good. Like, we can hear it." It was funny. She was cool though. Everyone was nice. Everyone in Hungary was really nice. Nobody does like customer service. That's not a thing over here in Europe. Like, not the customer service in America that we have, where they want to help you and they're trying to be helpful. The only helpful person was like the lady at the front desk of the hotel. And even then it was just one of the 3 ladies that was nice. The other 2 just didn't care if you had a question. So, oh well. And then we came home and went back to class. And yesterday in the park, or maybe 2 nights ago in the park, we were walking home from working out. It was like 5:30. Yeah, it was Monday night. It wasn't even like that late. We were walking and these 2 dudes came up. I say dudes, they were children. They were at best 12 years old. And they came up and like asked Robert for a cigarette. Robert said, I don't smoke, I'm sorry. He said, "Fine, you can at least give me $1 or £1 for bus fare." Robert was like, "Nah, dude, like, I don't have anything. Like, I just came from the gym. I have nothing on me." And the guy was like, "Fine, like, give me your hat then." And this kid is truly 12, very short, very large, like round, literally round. And he's like trying to jump and take Robert's hat off of him, but he's so short and fat that he like can't get any like up. He can't get up to grab the hat, so he just keeps like thumping Robert in like the neck and back. And he like punches Robert in the back, but since he's so small, it just kind of like nudges Robert in the back. So Robert gets really mad and like turns around and squares up and he's like, "Dude, back off, man." And they like follow us for like a little bit and then they like turn around and peel off once we get like in the middle of the park. But it was so weird because, a piece of you, like your instincts flare up, like, what do you do? Like, do you have a weapon? But then also your brain's like, this is a middle schooler. So like, what could they actually do to you? They're in middle school. So by the time we walked away and they were gone, we kept thinking like, oh, we should have made a comment about, oh, does your mom know you're here? Like, don't you have homework to do? But I think that would have just antagonized them a little more. So anyway, that was that. That was wild. It's like the weirdest thing that's happened to us in the park. Everyone says, don't go in the park, and we've been fine until right then. It was so bizarre. And then when Robert said something, he said something back to them, and the guy was like, "Oh, American, how cool." And Robert was like, "Dude, back off. Like, I live here now. Go away." It was weird. But yesterday, I had my first play practice. It was so much fun. Or maybe I had it on Monday. I had it on Monday. Whoops. Well, it was so much fun. I love my co-stars. My co-actors. Wow, yikes. Reality check. But everyone's so nice, and I'm so excited. If you didn't know, I got the part of Hermia in Midsummer Night's Dream with the Glasgow University Shakespeare Society. So our performances are March 12th and March 11th. I did that backwards. 11th and 12th. So I'm very excited. I think my sister might get to come in town and see me, which would be so exciting. As much as I love Robert, my friend's coming. So there's just something about a family member of blood who's had to sit through 100 of your plays to come and see just one more. So I'm excited. If not, I'll post the whole play on YouTube. I don't know if that's allowed, but if it is, I'll post the whole play on YouTube. I'm very excited about it. So yeah, that's been us so far. Robert's taking me on a surprise birthday trip tomorrow morning, so he gave me a list of stuff to pack, and I've already packed it. Hope I packed what I needed. I don't know. But so I'll let you guys know how that goes. So this weekend is my birthday. I'm trying to get all my friends to go to a Buda Castle place. It's like the largest inflatable place in Scotland. And it looks so much fun. Not trampolines, Mom and Dad, don't worry. But just like inflatables and a ball pit and just like goofy adult children things. I don't know. And then next weekend is the ABBA concert. I'm so excited. I got a costume. I don't think anyone else is dressing up, but I got a costume. I'm making all my friends go. It's like a ABBA tribute at one of the like clubs. club downtown. So I'm really excited about it. I'm so stoked. And I just hope it's only ABBA on a loop the whole time. But here are the pictures for this week, and can't wait to talk to you guys later. Bye! Also, a huge shout out to my dad, who just turned 50! He's half a century! And this is, I think, one of the first birthdays that, like, we didn't have a party together, so I'm sure he's finally thrilled to get attention on himself only. But happy late birthday to my wonderful father! Bye! I also forgot to mention that a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week or the week before, we went to two castles. We went to Linlithgow Castle and to... I don't remember the other one. A Hunting Tower Castle. That's what it is. Hunting Tower was like it burned a little bit, and so did Linlithgow, and they were really cool. Hunting Tower was in Perth, so it was kind of far away. Or, not far, but hard to get to. And Linlithgow, I mean, you just arrived and you walked to it. But we got to see those, and we got to go to some concerts for the bluegrass thing, and Robert got to jam until like 1 a.m. with his like cool bluegrass friends or Celtic connections or whatever. But the castles were phenomenal, so there are some pictures of castles, so don't be confused. Excuse me, that's what they are. Okay, bye! Alright, Mr. Hart, where are we headed?
Budapest, finally.
Finally.
I don't like being on camera.
It's been a very long day, but we're about to get our gate for Budapest.
It's been the worst day of our lives today.
Why?
Well, I yelled at 3 people, so that's great.
Oh, just 3?
Yeah.
We're headed to Gatwick to then head to Budapest. We made it to Budapest.
My feet have swelled up massively.
There's Is it good?
Got dollar bills.
Is it good? Huh?
What is
Square.
it? Hero Square. Dun, 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 Budapest Art Museum. The rest of it. Communism. There's a castle over there. Can you see it? Dun, 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 dun. Look at that dog. Look. A wiener. Friends for life. Oh, look. A dog. Looking. I don't know if you can see it, but welcome back to Scotland. It's pouring down rain. Well, you can't see Robert either. Where are we going? We are headed to Perth to a castle. Look, sheepies. Hold on. Oh, they're gone. That's awesome. Well, my Perth, little sexually aggressive, wouldn't you think? Welcome to the birthplace of Mary, Queen of Scots, and Robert.
And here we are at Hunting Tower Castle.
Hi, welcome to my crib. Come on in, I'll show you all of it. Come on, follow me. This is my mead hall, where we drink all the mead with all the boys. If you'll follow me, stop it. Looking down on the mead hall, do. Robert. Obviously we can't go out that way. In a spiral staircase. It's hard to see me, I know. I'm in Hunting Tower Castle, in a chamber that Dad most identifies with. I'm in the bathroom.
What you're looking at is the original paintings of the Huntington Tower ceiling on floor 2. We're laying on the ground because that's what the tour says to do. It provides you with a rug so that you can lay on the ground and get a better view of the amazing artwork on the ceiling. How cool is that? Also, they let you wear costumes! So we are in costumes.
That's the east stairwell. I mean, how drab, right? If you come through the mead hall, ooh, fireplace, mahogany. You have the #1 bedchamber, the OG bathroom, gross. Mine, hey, tall ceilings, what? If you go over this way, oh look, a ceiling. Wow, fireplace and ceiling. We've got a wonderful staircase here. Hello servants, am I right? You come up this stairwell, ooh, my dress, yes. Bathroom, gross. To another bedroom. Check out that ceiling paint, am I right? Obviously the west stairwell, less drab. If you come over here, the lights turn on. Hello. Maybe they don't turn on. Anyway, back down the stairs, back to the mead hall. And thanks for coming to my crib. Check in next time for my crib, Linlithgow Castle. Bye.
As Dad would say, that first step is a doozy.
Yo, welcome to my crib, Linlithgow edition. Here we are, going up our spiral staircase. Robert,
Got the suits.
check out our view so far. Woo! So here's the bedroom. Put a big bed right here, all the windows. And then you come into the private room where there's a fireplace and wood paneling and beautiful ceilings. And this used to be a window that you could look out over the lake with. But then a fire destroyed it. Say hi.
Now speak very slowly and very clearly.
Diagonally.
Happy birthday from Lynn Lithgow!
This place is huge.
So huge. And for your enjoyment, here are some bloopers of Robert being a goober.
It's hard to see me. I'm in Huntington Castle, in a chamber that...
Action.
Hey there, Mr. Brantley. Hope the past 50 years you felt somewhat like king of the castle. Or are we doing? I messed it up.
No, keep going.
No, redo it.
Oh my god.
Should I be
Action.
sitting down?
Action. Come on.
Stop. Do it again.
Go.
Hello there. I hope the past 50 years you felt somewhat like what? Okay, stop. I'm thinking. Don't turn it off.
And go.
Stop. I'm not natural.
Go.
Not natural.
Don't step on the roof. Go.
Hold on. Just you got to stop.
Go.
Happy birthday there, Mr. Brantley. Hope the past 50 years you felt somewhat like king of the castle like I am right now, or more just proprietor of Bellevue. I hope the next 50 years are, and more maybe, are full of sunny days and good sunglass tan. Oh yeah. You're my only favorite father-in-law.
Happy birthday.
No, okay, where were we now? I'm going. See, you linger.
Action.
Do it again.
Come on.
Well, just stop. I know you're still filming.
Okay.
For the shot. Having a costume malfunction.
Robert's over here trying to get himself right, and there's a lady very much judging us. Okay. Come on, you're on. Come on, you got it.
No, I can't do it.
Robert, come on. Robert.
Stop. Please stop.